Creation is a horrible and unexpected place. Listen at your own risk. Welcome to the Immaculate Chaos, an adventure of triumph, mistake, and heartache. Listen as beings unbound by the loom of fate struggle against unseen forces in a reality they barely understand. With intentions blinded by light and a path hidden in darkness, yet another step is taken towards uncertainty. Join battle once again, Anathema, as this story must yet be told.
It looked like the building's wall itself had been folded out into a stage. The stage itself had a bunch of tight-fitting clothes on display for uses spanning the gambit of hunting and sneaking to dancing and acting. So basically, any type of cloth or fine materials that or like equipment that you'd be looking for, it's probably going to be in that shop.
I'm going to go look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see a man on the stage who is dressed in a smooth shirt and buttoned up fully to support the graceful bow tie he's wearing. On top of the shirt, he's wearing a stylish vest of 6 buttons. It has a fairly deep V-line, which causes the vest to line up perfectly with the jacket's V-line when it's buttoned up. The jacket is perfectly tailored to fit him. It has a smooth chalk stripe pattern, which gives the suit a refined look. The 6 buttons of his single-breasted jacket have been left unbuttoned, and as if he wants to appear well-dressed while still looking casual, and somehow it works. The jacket is slightly longer at the back, and it has no vent. There are 2 pockets on either side, and there is a breast pocket, which has been left empty. He's wearing pants which have the same color as the jacket, but a slightly different pattern, and they perfectly complement his shoes. He's wearing a classy pair of split-toe Lucha. It's a type of shoe. To top it all off, he's wearing a classic belt, which can be accompanied by gloves and a tie clip. He is constantly dancing and singing and otherwise turning a profit. So as you're watching him, he's literally in motion, talking to people, trying to draw them in so they'll buy his wares. When someone walks over, as you guys are like kind of coming up to it, you'll see someone walk in and he's moving and dancing around them and explaining what they're looking at. No, that would look great. Oh, I think I have an A-line that would fit you a lot better than that one, but I have it in the same shape, so don't even worry about it.
I'm going to perception check him to see if he's picking people's pockets.
He is not. You, Gratham, notice he has silver tattoos that gleam and glow every so often as he dances.
Cool.
I start to play my lute to his
Give me a dexterity performance.
turning, as it were.
Come on, man. I don't get a bonus to seeing looter tattoos.
He's wearing a full suit. The only place that you're seeing a little bit of skin is at his wrists and on his chest.
Well, where else would someone look?
Oh, I mean, I guess his face and his neck too, but he's wearing a hat. As your loot starts up, he finishes with his current customer. Money exchanges hands, and he looks happy. Come! What can I help you with? I'll give you a great price. Because you have joined the show, he indicates that he's going to give you a good discount.
Okay, cool. What kind of wares does he have here?
Anything of fine quality. You don't see anything here lower than a resource 4.
Really?
And it's all for things like
Clothing.
Clothing. So,
How do my boots look? Because I don't think I've ever changed them.
Actually, speaking of which, he looks at your jacket. Ooh, that's a fine relic. I might be able to actually do some repairs on that. Maybe get you a little bit of information. I can definitely, and he's like dancing around, help you with that.
Sense motive? Is he on the up and up?
Seems to be.
Okay. Did you text me?
Ari.
Message.
He is not lying.
Okay.
You don't see like reefs of it, but you do see fabrics that would be exactly what you're looking for that are already being used in other fashions.
I asked him if he's got raw supply.
Perhaps, but I would charge you more than the actual supplier.
Did you point me to a supplier in the area?
He says, yeah, Treeside Trading Post.
Isn't that where we came from?
Yeah.
Sure.
I allow him to do the thing. And then I ask, and I very nonchalantly point at Zalia, and I'm like, what do you think?
Well, I agree that you don't want to cover up more than we need to, but
Maybe.
well, we talking high fashion or we talking Beast Tribe fashion?
I'm thinking she'd approve of like some Beast Tribe stuff, but still
She
tasty.
wants to be as close to nude as she can while still appearing high class.
I shoot Angus a look.
Slave Leia costume.
So he dances around Zalia a little bit. He takes unique attention of the crown, a little bit of the outfit. No, this won't do. This won't do. And he twirls off in back into the back things of the store.
Angus looks a little. What does he mean it won't do?
He comes back with a deep green and like slightly purplish hued dress, and it's solid color. It's off the shoulders, and he holds it up to her, and it kind of disappears for a second, and then she's wearing it, and he's like, no, that won't do, And he snaps his finger, and then you watch as the entire thing looks like it becomes spider webs. You watch him as he's dancing around her, watching her look and how she appreciates it, and doesn't appreciate it. So you watch as the shade changes, the colors change, and she ends up with this like spider silk, like almost mesh outfit that's covering where she wants to be covered, but it's accentuating her different curves. But it's this nice, long, flowy dress.
What do you think?
I try to move.
You feel like you're not wearing any.
I like the way it feels.
Oh, don't let that fool you. But I can get that nice, airy feel to it. And he snaps his fingers and he's holding the dress the way it originally was. It'll still get some unrespectful looks in high society because it does show a little too much depending on dispositions, but
I get disrespectful looks all the time. Have you seen my face?
he goes into a talk about something called eyeliner and shadow and powders of like, hey, you could dress up your eyes, really make those eyes pop and just pull that attention straight into your really nice cheekbones. Like, he starts giving you a tutorial on how to put makeup on.
These powders and pigments, would they, if I put them around my eyes, would they allow people to properly count the amount of eyes that I have on my face?
They would be accentuated, so I would assume.
Out of
I am
character,
surrounded by people who are unable to count.
Is it because they can't count to 4?
No, because a lot of the time the number is 37.
As you move the tail, we could actually incorporate the tail into the dress so it would look like she just had a training. It would possibly be a little revealing if you were to curl your tail up, but it would probably be a little bit more helpful if you were in combat or something. Might be a little bit more versatile.
They wouldn't be able to know it's there, and then you just...
Well, the eyes might not help.
People can't count. It's fun.
You got a spring-assisted switchblade tail.
Does that count as a concealed carry? I feel like
Yes.
that counts as a concealed carry.
Well, I don't have anything that
All right.
really conceals my tail.
I did have a couple of other projects going, but I really like you, and you're the one ordering it. He lists off a resource 3 price, because it's not a magical dress, it's just a really nice dress.
Yep.
You feel that this is a really expensive dress, and he's giving you a 2-point discount on this dress. Is anyone else looking for any sort of wares?
I'm gonna peruse through the clothing and stuff. Like you said, there was...
You see one area that would be very highly attractive to Grapham. He has perfect attire from every location in the world. So peasantry to noble to things that can be easily modified into that.
Yeah.
It's a specific area for acting, more or less. But he has disguises at the ready.
I pull out like a little notebook.
Yeah.
And just start making notes on...
What he has?
Yeah, well, on styles and stuff.
You don't know where those styles match up, but you know that they're from different locales. You've seen a couple of them in your travels.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Just, I mean, they're doing their whole thing. I occasionally would... Is he the only one there, or are there other attendants?
He's the only one there, but he would twirl back over to you and answer questions if you had questions.
Yeah.
So if you, every now and then, you're like, hey, where does this dress come from? He gives you a city and a location.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a... how long are you going to stay there and take notes? Because there's a lot of clothing.
Yeah, just our general area.
Okay.
Like I know it's 1,000 kingdoms, but in an area that is, I know there's no index on this map, but it's not the world.
Angus is gonna like just peruse while they're doing their thing.
Yep.
And he's gonna like specifically hone in on the stuff that is like really fucking good.
Actually,
All of it is resource 4 or better.
Okay.
So it's all really good. You don't really see anything that's artifact. But the craftsmanship looks like it could be there.
Okay, so he's gonna like take mental notes and like examine the stitching. He's self-teaching off of what he sees.
Yep.
And if that guy notices as a fellow craftsman that I'm giving it a craftsman eye, that's fine. But like,
He doesn't seem to mind. Like if anything, like as he's twirling between all of you, he'll even call out stitches that you didn't notice. Of like, hey, look, this one is actually folded over. It's a double stitch on the back side, but then I serged it, so it's flat. That kind of stuff.
at which point you'd get things out of Angus like your technique or one you've taken from us.
A little bit of both.
Interesting. Which is about as good as you get out of a crafter.
Yeah.
What I was really looking for, though, is that I think you said stuff that would help in stealth and...
There's stuff that would be for sneaking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, quieter fabrics.
Quieter fabrics, things that don't pill, things that don't drop trails,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of everything. It really depends on what you're looking for. There is one set that's kind of on a mannequin that's kind of crouched, but it looks like it's almost like plated leather. But the leather itself, even as you're like looking at it and you touch it, you don't get that normal like rub sound that you get to leather. It's completely silent.
What I do is I pull Angus over.
Yeah.
And have him.
There's something on that armor.
I've got a craft. I have a craft.
I look to see if I can figure it out.
It's some sort of treatment. You would need to see the treatment.
I actually asked him, what kind of treatment is this?
Oh, it's it's more of like an oil meets a ethanol base. It's one of the leathers here. You can order it from the Blood Hides All. The leather treatment itself is just called Silent.
Oh.
So like, I want Silent. Okay, good. And they won't. It's like you get the sensation or the impression that it's their thing.
Do you have anything, which I assume you're not displaying to the general public, that approaches first age quality a little bit?
I mean, depends on the buyer and if they would have something that could even qualify for that.
Yeah. I'm just curious if he's got anything that, like, because I would just be curious to see what might be.
Well, available is a tricky term. I have things, and I wouldn't know what to show you unless I know what you're putting on the table.
I open up my coat and I pour 2 little tiny things from my private reserve, and I hold it over to...
He takes it.
I think he wants to see some of your...
Oh, I'm very well aware he wants to see some of my private selection. Mm-hmm. The thing, I could buy and sell nations with that kind of things. Why would I show that to anybody? And he takes the shot in one hit.
Do you have anything of value that would warrant him to show you his privates?
My talents don't reside primarily in this field. As one crafter to another,
I would suggest you watch Spiders for a while. Fabrics are all about the weave, the strength of it.
okay, that keeps coming up. That
The weave?
weave, spiders, that seems to be a thing. You've got to clarify, what does that cost?
A weave?
No, what is a... I don't know. I keep hearing about a weave and spiders.
Well, a weave does appear in a lot of things. Everything from lore to legends to fabrics, but it's most prevalent in fabrics. It's cloth is just several strands that are put side by side and interwoven into each other, hence wove. But everything comes down to what thread are you using for the whole, how much do you need for the whole, and what are you trying to do with it? You can double weave something so it's twice as strong, but it's not going to be nearly as light. So there's simply just a lot that goes into fabrics. It's a lot like cooking.
Well, he's intent with Angus. I'm going to make my way towards the back of the building.
Okay. In the back, you see more of the more expensive stuff?
No, like the back. Not the back, like the back room. Yeah. Upstairs. I mean, if it's upstairs, it's upstairs.
No, I know. You make your way to the back, you see a whole bunch of Resource 5 outfits that are all on mannequins. You don't see a door. You see like a room, because this thing is the whole building, but the wall has been folded out on it. There is no door. There is no stair.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yep. I was just trying to...
Yep, no, I got you.
I was trying to get a look around, and if
I'm strictly for
not...
question to ask.
There isn't even a break room?
No, there's no break room.
No Brits.
You do see a table set off to one side with a couple of chairs and a pot of something steam.
What do spiders have to do with weaving besides the fact that your typical spider weaves away?
Well, spiders are the epitome of threat. Some spiders, all it takes is a hard breath from a mortal to break it. Other ones, they'll stand up to a gale from the far north. It's how they weave the thread that matters. And then that woven thread then goes into a fabric, which is then also woven.
People raise these spiders to get these special threads?
He reaches in a pocket and he pulls out a pocket knife, like a letter opener type deal. And it is moon silver. So he grabs it, and he puts his hand over it, and then he puts it back. Now all you see is dust. And you know this smell. He must just have a different version of it. So you see dust, and he goes, well, you don't really need spiders. And he starts like wiggling his fingers over it, and you watch as the dust starts to collect together and then twirl, and he pulls a fine silken thread from it.
Oh, that's true.
How else would you deal with magical materials? But you can do it with almost anything. And he puts it back, and the knife is returned, and he puts it back in his You have a similar ability for repairs.
I just haven't bought into it yet.
Correct.
So he doesn't necessarily know because he hasn't looked down that path because it hasn't really come up until very recently.
Yeah,
I have no experience.
Yeah, he has, because he has all, so he destroyed the thing, he showed you that he can make thread with it, but he has all of the materials of the original item, so he repaired the item.
This is that moment where Ings looks at him intently and goes, are you sorry if this is rude? Are you fake?
No. And he kind of like looks around a little bit, and he pulls his jacket to the side, and you see a glowing silver tattoo. I'm Pack.
Lunar?
Yes.
What up, Pack?
No, the name's Jeremy Fay.
Gam, still getting down the lingo.
What is this lingo you speak of?
Gam, don't talk with your mouth full.
Okay, moisten your lip there.
Careful, he's a lunar. What's the name of his store?
Men in Tights. I once made a mask out of such refined silks that it changes with the user's will.
I list the crafts that I'm good at, like that I'm like 5 dots in. I go, if you ever need anything along those veins.
Ah, the man Rose was looking for.
Oh, that's public knowledge.
Well, only for those of us with blood. I'm not a member of the family, but when you need materials, they're the only ones really worth talking to.
Cool. Great.
I do believe there is a sizable bounty within the family for you.
Somebody say bounty.
Not that kind. You already read that note. Shh, over there.
I go back.
Good meeting you.
Anyway.
So the district is in near constant darkness. As you guys get closer, it is very moldy. There's mold everywhere. As you guys enter the district, you guys quickly realize that it is a district of apothecaries, herbalists, and gatherers of all sorts. There is not a Zalia. Leeway is there is not a single type of mold, fungus, or lichen
Lichen
that you have not seen before here. Or that you haven't seen, or that you have seen that is not here, present somewhere. So for whatever reason, this area is growing mold across the world. As you guys enter the district, you see almost imperceptible on the side of the street, there's a huge knot. You also find a small single-floor square building that stands at the end of a single raised dock-like walkway. Surrounding the building is an area of a 25-foot diameter area of slowly shifting mold. The mold seems to crawl over the building and keeps its attention on you. You feel like it's watching.
What?
You stare at the mold intently stares back.
Yes.
Does it look like a shop or is it just like a building?
Single floor square building that stands in the middle of this 25-foot diameter pool of mold.
Hey, Zalia. Not to alarm you, but the growth over there is looking at us.
Yeah, you all feel like it's watching you. You're not really sure why, but you feel like it's watching you.
This is like your
you also
area.
find a building that is half sunk into the ground with the door standing at a weird angle and a sign hanging askew from one of its 2 chains, showing a white rabbit with a top hat and a monocle.
Oh, hell no.
So you guys found a knot in a tree, the big tree. You guys found a small little building and a pool of mold that was moving and watching you, and a building that is sunk into the ground, standing at a weird angle.
You know, for the ease of the storyteller.
I was.
The pools have eyes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to override you there.
There's actually no order to this. They're alphabetical in my list of buildings.
Well, no, but like the order you listed there, like boop, boop, boop.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, just making.
Okay.
Zalia, what do you want to do?
I was gonna say I start pulling towards the knot in the tree. I wanted to go and check
As you
out.
guys get closer to the knot, it is 2 meters high by 2 meters wide. It didn't look like that when you guys were further away, but as you guys get closer, it is fairly sizable. And inside you see a weird silvery liquid flowing up.
Hey!
Hey,
Does a
so-
face appear and it talks to us?
No, you
Maybe in a grandmotherly tone?
It's the thing that...
I think he sticks his head in Sylph.
Yes.
That's the elevator.
Because I'm ready to talk Gma to Gma.
Oh,
Gma to Gma.
I was going to try and come up with some
Gams.
convoluted name for it. You get an elevator, you get a lift. The Uppinator.
The Uppinator.
He sticks his head back in. Do you go to all the other areas too?
I am everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, he pulls his head back up.
Do we hear that?
No, he's the only one with his head.
That's the
inside.
elevator. Apparently
Angus,
goes
what are you
everywhere.
doing? Oh, you sticking your head in the tree.
What did he just said?
That's the elevator. It apparently goes everywhere. We
Oh,
just didn't
okay.
notice it in the other places because we're dumb.
Gotcha.
Would I recognize the silvery substance as being moon silver?
You're not really sure what it is, but it's very similar to moon silver. It's muted compared to moon silver, though.
I touch it.
Yes.
I start moving
Wait, it
towards
talks
the
back
It's
to
been
me?
talking to us the whole time.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
still.
it's the elevator.
He even told you it's the elevator.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
I
I've been
start moving
drinking.
towards the square building.
Okay. So you cross the building
Thanks for
This'll
paying
make
or the
attention.
bridge. Inside the single floor hut is sparsely furnished. Furnished.
Furnished.
There we go. A cauldron sits in a small hearth
Yes,
next to
I
a
speak
tilting
much good
stone
English.
work surface. A hive of bees buzzes lightly in the rafters across from a mass of foam.
Are they happy?
Yes, they are happy. The bees in my game are always happy.
Okay.
No, they are not.
Unless you hit the hive, in which case then Vikings come out and kill you.
Babies.
Vikings don't like their bees not to be
They-
happy.
He never
Bees.
said the babies weren't happy.
I never said the babies were not happy.
You just weren't happy because you
They were
saw them.
horrifying.
They were happily horrified.
They were happily to do it, yeah.
Okay, so bees are buzzing across the in the rafters from a mass of foam, which is also in the rafters. So they're on opposite ends of the building.
How? I'm sorry. I know you're backtracking because I wasn't paying attention, but how in the fuck did we get here? Like, what? We were in this nice, fancy clothes shop, and now we're where exactly?
You guys went to the other side of the tree, to Leeway. It's the
We
dark
were
side of the
checking
tree.
all the districts and we're exploring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gam Gam, are you okay?
Gam Gam, are
No,
you
I'm
lost?
not.
You might want to
Lost.
change out of Gam Gam. You're really kind of getting too into character.
Your mindset's really starting to
Dude,
gotta-
Gam Gam's sundowning.
Where are we now?
Take some ginkgo biloba, recover a little bit.
Biloba. Oh,
I think Gam Gam's gonna lay up the happy juice, is what we got here.
Yeah, right.
you can't make me.
You're not the boss me. Where are we now?
So,
I'm your senior.
an old woman is hunched over the cauldron, while a 35-pound toad.
I didn't say I was
Snores.
leaning over anything.
Guys.
Sorry.
An old woman is hunched over the cauldron, while a 35-pound toad snores on a star bed nearby. Straw bed nearby.
Had me excited for a second.
I know,
there.
right? The woman's skin is layered like the paper in the binding of a book, so she's just wrinkles. And it's seen briefly through a musty shawl of mold, and she's wearing it like a shawl. Her joints bulge in inflammation, and her nails appear to be decorated in fungus of various colors and shades. A single tooth hangs from her upper gums, and a bubble hangs thickly from her mole-marked hawk nose. So the big old mole on it, and there's a bubble just hanging out of her nose.
Snot bubble and the
Oh.
single tooth.
No. can't
Welcome
do it.
to Apothecary. I'm Carrie. How can I help you?
I love your shawl.
Yo.
Your nails.
It smells nice.
Does the bubble inflate when she does that?
Yeah, she goes, and it gets sucked back up, and then it comes back out.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I would imagine an apothecary in your world. I am 0.0% disappointed here.
What is your toad friend's name?
His name is Totocles.
I love it.
Wait, how big's this toad?
35 pounds.
Goddamn basil.
I
a basil
baby.
bufo.
Totocles, Totocles.
I just nope.
You leave.
Turn around, walk out of the building.
We've seen weirder.
Yeah.
Can I?
As you go to leave the building, you open the door, and you don't see sun.
You hear a little.
You
When
open the
she
door, and you
sucks
just
the
see,
bubble back in?
You just see darkness.
Can I pet him?
Oh
The toad? That's up to Totocles.
Toad, please, can I pet you?
Ribbit.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. I'll pet him.
You pet him. He's a toad, so he's fairly dry. You see blackness in front of you. You go to touch it, and it's a little wet, and then it kind of parts, and you watch mold pull away.
You are the cutest little Toadacles.
Stand away from everything.
The mold closes back in to cover the door, and you close the door.
Oh, no.
I look right at the old lady. Were you the mold that was watching us a minute ago?
Well, I mean, mold has pods, and pods are kind of like eyes, and I do like eyes.
So, what's your specialty here?
Healing. Are you hurt? Ooh, you boy, you're not looking too well.
The little red mark on his forehead might have been me.
She goes over to the.
I have 2 egg.
Yeah, she goes over to your ag. I'll show you, sweetie, what I can do. And she grabs the bubble real quick out of her nose and slams it on his hand and starts rubbing it in.
I feel like that's gonna get infected.
And then she rips some mold off of the wall and poultices his arm. That would probably take a couple of weeks, but you'll probably be okay in a week.
It was gonna take a week anyway.
I
Not
feel
for both.
faint.
Do I have to leave it on?
Well, I mean, you could take it off, but then it's not going to be as effective.
Don't touch me.
Don't worry, it's my mold. I'll be watching it.
No.
You city folk get all queasy over the weirdest thing.
It's a booger bubble.
You watch as another booger bubble forms.
The 2 is my reaction.
She reaches off to one side as you guys all start to realize that the shawl's the only thing covering her. She reaches under a couple of layers, pulls out a big huge spoon and goes back to the cauldron. Gotta keep it stirred, don't want to burn it.
He only catches a glimpse.
I'm
and
just
goes,
slowly backing away. Just no.
like he's totally fine. Like he's fine again.
She turns back around from the cauldron. Hey, welcome to Apothecaries. I'm Gary. How can I help you?
Her name is Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie of the apothecary.
Yeah.
I'm all set. Thank you.
Is there like some wood by a fire nearby in the room like this just laying around?
There's some wood off to the right of the thing. It looks like it's kind of covered in mold and a little damp, but it's there.
Wood.
No, of course not.
I make a little like gear thing that she can just wind up and it'll send the spoon around the cauldron for her to keep it stirred so she doesn't have to do it all the time. Like, thanks for the heal. Thanks for the goo.
Ooh. She kind of looks at you appreciatively. I got another cauldron you could stir. You'd be so interested.
Oh,
Carrie, he's
say
married.
no.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Alas, he is spoken for.
Actually, didn't he throw off that wedding?
Oh, we technically never did have a ceremony.
You do know there's a note that says anybody touches him, they're gonna fucking die, right?
I'm so happy I brought booze to this game.
You all continue with Carrie from the apothecary.
I take a whiff of her cauldron.
The last time you honestly smelled stew this good was when you guys were in that bar in Nixus.
Would it be rude of me to ask
While
you
you're in the
for a
middle of
taste?
talking, she grabs the spoon and shoves it in your mouth.
I'm standing so far away.
It's delicious.
It's
Absolutely
so
delicious.
good.
Regain a willpower. If you're down willpower, regain a willpower.
Nope. Not worth it. Nope. Don't like that.
I'm sorry if my friends are.
That's fine. If you want to know my secret, she looks at the other and she pulls you real close.
Oh, no.
It's larva, and she reaches up into the wrappers and grabs an egg from and throws it into the cauldron.
I thought so.
Gives it that kick.
And high in protein.
Yes.
So much worse.
Do I see her put the larva into the cauldron? It's not as bad as turning people into trees.
Then the larvae live in you.
They make you strong.
They give me power. The last time.
They give you 1 willpower.
The last time I got power, it was a good thing.
So she's sitting here. She goes back to stirring the cauldron. It's not stirring nearly quick enough for her, but every now and then she lets the spoon stop, and she's like, "A couple more days, my willpower potions be done."
Those could come. I might come and visit you in a couple days if that's okay.
I like company. Dodocles is always enjoying pets.
I love you both. I'll come back and visit. And I give Toadacles another pet.
He like gives a weird like half walrus.
I also promise that I will come back alone with less judgmental people.
I never pass no judgment.
I know. You can come with me.
I'm always down.
Actually, Angus hasn't either. Funny enough.
I'm always down for company, but if I gotta do my hoobity jubity, I only got one bed. Basically, she explains that more or less that she is a healer. She can do really great things with healing, and she can double her already doubled healing if you stay with her. Under her watchful supervision, she will speed healing up through non-magical means, which is fucking unheard of.
Can I call you Mama Carrie?
Only if I get to call you
That's sex magic,
Donna.
isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I'll see you soon, Mama Carrie.
Very well. She can also do potions. She is a high level alchemist. So y'all leave when you go to leave. There is darkness.
I'll go first.
Yeah, it's a little wet, but it. Yeah, you leave.
I join her.
It doesn't actually phase Angus. Like this is something Zalia would pick up. Is that this is just unfazed.
Oh, I'm the first one out the door.
Yep. I pieced
I love
as
how
quick
everyone
as
is
possible.
picking up a southern accent by accident here. I'm the first one out the door.
As you guys leave, you guys get that nice, rich witch cackle of such good youngins.
Thank you kindly.
I move over to the partially sunk building.
It's a partially sunk building with a door at a really fucking weird angle. Again, the sign has a white rabbit with a top hat and a monocle. Looks quite respectable.
I go in a really weird angle.
Yep. You open the door. There's a weird hallway that looks like it was mismatched out of a building that maybe sunk.
Ari's trying to be polite here, but she's intermittently throwing up in her mouth and trying to choke it back. Like, just...
Yeah. Actually gonna. Fen can take notes through the portal. I think this is actually gonna Filbert.
Yep.
And ask him specs on the call silver one and what was hers made out of.
You're not sure. It was black, but it looked cold even though it was on fire.
Pure silver.
Gotcha.
He's like, it's
Yep. You write the note. You hand it to Fen. Fen looks at it. He disappears and he comes back and he says, "Okay." The note's still in your hand.
Oh, you already told him. Appreciate it.
He can't take the paper, but he can go and
Yeah,
relay.
I'm actually gonna send her the cauldron and like.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And ask.
So the opening in the door leads to this rough, weird hallway that kind of goes down. Eventually, the walls go into rough stone staircase, and it's just not straight down, but it's like a nice solid. I'm gonna say 30 degree, like not horrible, but it's still kind of rough. Staircase. Every couple of feet is a small patch of bioluminescent mold. Bathes the path in a sickly green color. Along the ground, seemingly at random intervals, are hat racks. After several minutes, you come to a circular chamber with about 50 holes, which are a meter from the ground and a half-meter wide. The floor itself is finely tiled with black and white checkerboard pattern. From the walls hang various clocks and watches, as well as more hat racks. Though these hat racks are all empty. A circular door stands before you, inviting you with a open sign hanging askew above a large circular animal door, and warm light coming through a circular window to the left.
Sorry, are we in the same district, but this is a different place?
Yeah, this is the third place.
I go through the first.
So you just walk through the big door?
Yeah.
Okay. Inside you find a home of curves and gentle angles. You immediately feel refreshed. Is anyone else following her in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so no one's staying outside? Just double checking.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone regain a point of willpower. So
think
you
I've
feel
lost any.
refreshed, and the smell of pipeweed, tea, and cakes makes your stomach rumble. A very long table stands before you, headed by a 3-meter wide and 2-meter high roaring fireplace. Along every curved wall is a shelf with various greens, vegetables, and herbs. Next to the fireplace is a 3-meter tall top hat with a folded rim and a large sled in front of it. The hat itself is on its side, so you guys are kind of like looking into the hat, and it just looks like darkness. In front of the hearth sits a man with wild gray hair and a beard in a finely tailored brown tuxedo, seemingly arguing to a star-nosed mole. They're several meters away. You guys are at the top of a table. They don't really seem to have noticed you just yet, but they're arguing to each other. On the table, you see different little pipeweed boxes and teas that have already been steeped or are ready to be steeped, and lots of cakes.
Are there other people
Nope.
around? That's weird.
Just him and the star-nosed mole. You all watch a white rabbit with a top hat and monocle run out of one of the holes, hand him a scroll, and then run back.
Is it his umbrella?
No. When it runs back, it stops off at the hat rack, puts the hat on the rack, and then goes into the hole.
I have a mighty need to chase it.
For reference, the rabbits are roughly 1 meter long, aka feet, and they stand like as this one was running. It's probably a good 6-7 inches off the table if it was sitting on the table. It's a very large rabbit.
So I could follow it in the hole.
You would need to crawl through the hole, but yes, you could technically try and go follow it.
I sit down at the table.
Oh?
I sit next to her.
When you sit down to the table, you watch as the stack of plates, one of the plates comes over and plops itself in front of you, and the silverware kind of comes over and sits down, and you get a teacup on a tea plate. It makes a little bit of noise as you sit down, and the man at the end with the wild hair kind of looks at the star-nosed mole and over at you guys, and then back at the mole, and then kind of hushed tones says something to the mole, and the mole kind of runs across the table and sits in front of you.
Hello. You are adorable.
I tried to crawl down the hole. Little white rabbit, where have you gone?
Mr. Bun Bun, come back to him.
You hear scared noises from in front of you, and Rustling hurries up.
But animals like me.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
Oh my god.
No, I have a charm.
I realize you have a charm, but you're chasing a rabbit down a hole going, "Hey, I'm right here!"
No. I said, "Hey, little Bun Bun, where have you gone?"
It's essentially the same thing. If the
No,
rabbit
it's
doesn't
not.
speak.
So the mole sits in front of you. And do any of you speak mole?
Nope.
Why would we? Why
Earth
would that
tongue?
be a thing?
Nope.
I speak mole.
If I had a mole as something that I could change into, would that mean that I could speak that language?
Yeah.
Okay. I do not. I was just curious.
You totally speak mantis.
I grab her by her feet and pull her out.
Yeah, because she's like climbing over a shelf, like she had to move some stuff out of the way to get into the hole.
What does the guy at the hearth look like?
He is a fairly
Like-
tall
Tried
gentleman.
to climb into
He's
your
wearing a finely tailored
answer
brown
that.
suit, and his hair is completely
At
unkempt.
least you know the
It's
answer.
just all over the place.
I examine the hats and stuff, like without touching, because I don't know where.
There's one very large hat with a sled in front of it, off in one corner, and then there's one hat rack with one hat on it.
I mean, I give it a good look over anything artifacty about any of it, anything crazy.
I mean, what are you looking for artifacty?
I don't know, like
I mean, a pencil can be an artifact.
trying to figure out what it is. Like,
It's a hat.
Like if it does anything beyond being a hat.
You would definitely need to like spend a lot of time with it, and like go over there and start touching it. And you've never heard any rumors about this. That's what the lore check is about. Is have you heard rumors of magic items like that?
Does it look like a void in the end of the hat?
It looks like a void at the end of the hat.
I asked. What's with the blackness?
What you mean, black?
Right up, the guy at the end of the table kind of looks at Angus, who talks directly to him, and kind of goes, and he like pulls, he reaches over and he starts writing something on a piece of paper, and then Rabbit comes out of the hole that Ari was just chasing him down.
Bun Bun,
And he
get
tried-
back for
He
me!
runs away from Ari, grabs the
Damn
note.
it!
I start playing a soothing. I'm like that guy at a party.
The guy looks. The
Well,
guy's
the
kind of like
house
looking
up
like
the
he's
bar,
been like a cornered rat. Like he doesn't know what to do.
I think you're scaring
The star mole looks at all of you.
I tried to speak to the mole in Forest Tongue, hoping that maybe he knows Forest Tongue.
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
Speaking of Earth tongue,
Nothing happens.
Do
I
you
sing like a
have
princess.
any carrots?
Kneading the dough. Kneading the dough.
I drink the tea.
You drink the tea.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
You feel a little fuzzy. But as you're drinking the tea, what's your business today?
Oh, we're just am I like
I know.
shipping back to him?
As you watch Zalia perk up, and all of a sudden she's going.
We're just exploring and trying to figure out the different shops and whatnot around. And
Well, welcome to Picnic. This is Rada's Rabbit Hole.
what do you guys do here? Just tea?
Information mostly, but transportation was his original purpose.
Really, what do you use for transportation?
Him, he's Rada.
Oh,
Can I get a intelligence and lore check?
I start drinking the tea.
So everyone, do you start drinking tea? Because the rabbit grabs the paper, goes back to its hat.
Yeah,
Do you
no.
try and grab it?
I'm not trying to assault him. I just want to be friends.
So what do you do? It goes back to its hat.
I drink the tea and say, "Hey, buddy."
You don't know that it works like that yet. So you see this bunny going back to its hat. What do
Hey,
you
she
do?
drank the tea and she talked to the mole person.
Yes.
There's
So,
a level of logic
do you-
to it.
Yes.
but-
Do you let the bunny get to the hat and leave now that it has a new nose, or do you drink the tea?
I drink the tea.
Okay. So you sit down. Your thing sets up. You now have tea. As you're about to drink the tea, you see the rabbit jump in the hole.
Write him another note. Wait, I
Um,
start scribbling on a napkin.
Can
and
I-
I start waving it under the table.
Can I get a intelligence lore check from you?
Okay.
Do I see both of them drink the tea
Yeah.
and then start clicking?
She
It's
isn't
not gonna be
clicking.
very
Okay,
hard.
she's not clicking.
No. She's in the middle of clicking.
Okay.
She's drinking tea.
Okay.
You see,
Teas and stuff.
it honestly is a fairly decent spread. You're not really sure how long this has been here, but it all looks fresh. Like, they don't look dried out. They don't look like they've been sitting on the table for a while. They look like they were just put there straight out of an oven.
Yeah.
Two rabbit ears.
You also don't know anything, but as you drink your tea, you hear the clicking noise, and then you hear, well, we do it through him, Rada.
Who is that?
Him. He's Rada, but he
Oh.
doesn't like mortals.
Oh.
I'm not mortal.
No, but you two both have familiars, so there must be something redeemable about you.
Some may argue that.
He can't talk to you. Mister hasn't drinking the tea yet.
No one's
Some
told
may
him to.
argue that.
I'm still looking at the hat.
So his name is
Rada.
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 What's your name?
Oh, well, my name is Marianne Graves.
Graves or grapes?
Graves.
Okay.
Enunciation for the win.
I'm a sophisticated lady.
You are a beautiful lady.
All this clicking. I'm like, Zalia, what are you doing?
Can I understand him?
Yeah.
I look at him, and just to fuck with him, I click at him.
She clicks at you.
I recommend we don't drink the tea. It makes you click.
What? I go to the guy. What's in the tea?
He backs up.
What's in the tea?
Leave him alone.
Oh, you can talk.
It's speak
That's
any
very
language
funny.
tea.
You speak any language, Tiari says.
Ah,
I start looking around for a
I
plate.
pick up a tea.
You watch them two sit, and the plate set itself up.
May I?
But there are plates and stacks on the table.
I take a tea. May I?
You don't sit down. You just grab a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Watch,
grab a
I
cup
can
and you,
speak greater lizard
Okay.
now. Rah, 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 rah.
underneath your feet, you feel Talum get offended. I am not a dirty lizard.
I'll look at his guard
I
again.
didn't look at him when I said it. How's he even here? I thought he was in
I
Kesatea.
pet him. Don't mind her.
Umbra puts a little kitty dragon paw over his face.
So, wait, the tea lets you speak to these people?
I
Sure.
take Yuki, and I'm just like holding her. Please
People are like,
help me keep my patience.
She's doing her own thing. Starnos watches you drink the tea and watches him drink the tea. Welcome to Rada's Rabbit Hole. How can we help you?
Oh, shit. That worked.
Watch
Why
your
wouldn't it
mouth
work?
in front of the lady.
And this is polite company, sir.
Watch your mouth. No cussing. No forge talk at the table. It's
The hat looks pretty nice.
My understanding of it, from the tidbits that I've gotten from Rada, give me a intelligence in lore check by hearing the name Rada, please.
I grab a plate,
Yep.
No.
walk over, and I start putting.
You can serve
Delectable
yourself
one.
from the table.
Yeah.
Once you take a bite of it, you start understanding the conversation, though.
What's in this?
the weed.
The weeb.
I apologize for going.
I was
with Rada.
reincarnated as a star mole. 6. 6. There was a god who forsake mortals long ago. His name was Rada, and he was a god of travel.
Rada.
It is rumored that Rada would help mortals cross the entirety of creation when it was bigger than it is now. An instance.
Do you relay that?
I asked, is this the same Rada? Yada, yada, yada. Like,
Rada, yada, yada.
Miss Marianne Graves confirms. Yeah, but he doesn't like to be reminded of those times.
What happened?
Well, mortals do what mortals do. They steal, they abuse, they use it for purposes of murder and death and mayhem and destruction.
I agree.
what if they were duty bound by a promise made to an eclipse only use it to make more.
Do you know how many times mortals have made promises
No,
like that?
no, eclipses actually bind you pretty hard. That's why I asked it the way I did. You actually have that ability to basically mean fuck you if you fail. So, type deal.
You hear a voice that sounds like it's being pulled across sandpaper, like it hasn't been used in far too long. And the old man at the other side says, "There's no such thing when it comes to mortals and their free will. There's always a loophole. There's always a way out. They always find a way to destroy that which is sacred to another."
We, and I point to me and Zalia, are not mortal,
You were one.
but we change.
Still have their mentality.
No,
Point of
I'm pretty
clarification.
much with you not liking the whole mortals.
Point of clarification. By default, any creation potentially harms, and
Correct.
is that what you're getting at? Or is it specifically ill will?
It is the destruction of all things, and he looks pointedly at Ari. One of you understands.
Fortunately.
He is pointedly referencing your new ability, and you say that you're along his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
He looks to you and he says, "That's to be expected from a demigod."
Well, shit.
Super flattered.
Got something you'd like to tell us, Zalia?
No.
Of course not.
That seems to be the problem with this group.
As Jack would say, no information comes for free.
You quickly realize that whoever they're looking at is the language they use.
Gotcha. But no, like, do you clarify for Angus what the hell he's getting at? Because he's actually earnestly asking.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of explained what form is and what it does.
Okay, somebody help me out here, out of character. I've had a little bit to drink.
Okay,
So what am I missing?
Her demonic form allows her to see those who are protecting something and those who seek to destroy something.
Okay.
For the sake of destruction or the sake of, saving something. So if he's looking at her and he's basically saying that, and Angus would make that connection, there are certain ideological views towards creation and destruction that can be pulled from that. I.e., we'll just say creating a trebuchet. You can create a trebuchet with the purpose of, I'm going to kill something with this, or you can create a trebuchet with the idea of, this is to defend this building. That is the difference.
Okay.
The intent behind it.
He's been mad that people don't have.
He is making the argument that regardless of what their
intent,
what they've been owed or what they've been bound to by the word of whatever negotiation, their intent can change within a moment's notice. They can keep to the word of what they wished, but have a different intent in their hearts, which therefore will work against what he is intending for the world.
What do you intend for the world?
Open communication. I've been helped by a son of the forest in recent days. He's taken the air, we have taken the ground.
Bird.
Yes. Although in recent days they've gotten the reputation of the omen birds for some reason.
Oh,
That was a miscommunication.
omen birds, you say?
Omen birds.
Like this.
So you don't just transport information; you could potentially transport.
Oh, I once transported things.
Not really.
I've never had the need to in some 3 centuries.
What is this son of the forest's name?
Errol, and he points at the bird.
No, I got that.
Have you met?
I wasn't sure if it was Errol or another relative.
You seem to possess a solution to a particular problem I have, though you seem unlikely to want.
But he's gonna ask anyway.
I'm gonna explore the issue if that's okay.
That would depend. What are we looking for?
As a crafter, in this group of people that I am accompanied with, it is very difficult to do
Notice he
my
doesn't
thing
call us his
when we're
friends.
moving around a lot and I don't have access to my.
Oh, that would be behind you. I never worry about getting back, only going forward.
Making new things is going forward,
No.
right? No?
No, your way of making things is catching up, young one.
Oh, you're getting. Okay, that's the first stage versus nowadays type thing, right? That's where you're.
Well, then perhaps you need to find out what has been so you can progress it further than that.
It gets back to the fundamental issue is that I am best suited by practicing my craft, and if we're traveling all the time, I can't get to my materials.
Well, I can't help you stay still. I am a god of travel.
I'm getting at it's like, is there a way, not necessarily involving you because you seem to have an issue with this, of getting my materials to wherever I am whenever I would know about that I could.
Feasibly, I know how to get from one place to another. You simply need to solve the equation magically of travel. And travel equals mass times distance over fluff.
Over fluff.
Fluff?
Yep.
Love it.
What's fluff?
He picks up the star mole and pets it. Fluff.
So I need a fluffy animal to take things from A to B?
If that is involved in the equation of travel equals mass times distance over fluff.
I hold Yuki a little bit closer.
Is there an intelligence roll that Angus can make to understand this, or are you just totally messing with me?
You have
trying to
no
get-
idea what the hell he's talking about.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense to you.
Okay, I'm just curious. Book on that?
For what?
To explain how that works.
Well, I'm pretty sure you at your level you should already understand that there's a consequent and a exchange of forces.
So, well, I know that you can pay for stuff with time, or vice versa.
In distance,
Pay for distance with time?
mass, distance, space, time. They're all relative.
He's not going to give this to you.
Time
I know, I'm not.
equals mass times distance over fluff.
Does that basically mean there's no way to do that without actually costing the time that I'm trying to save?
You have no idea.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a way to do it in some fashion or another, but you're not sure. You'd have to try it and experiment with it. And he doesn't seem willing to teach you because he doesn't trust you.
Okay.
May I take some of these cakes and cookies, or possibly some of this amazing tea to go?
Yes, but they'll only last a couple of days before getting too dry to really consume.
May I have some of these special tea leaves to brew at a later time?
Well, the enchantment upon them will, again, wither in a couple of days, but you could feasibly get a reasonable steep from them afterwards.
I'll take it.
Anyway, you teach me
It's a simple equation.
to understand the meaning of it.
There's no meaning. Time, tick, 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 distance, walk, 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 times each other, over flu.
Do you know of one named Gadriel?
She did help me make a couple of gateways, but she simply made the portals, not the actual enchantments upon the portal. Oh no, the top hats were invented by my first assistant, Wilhelm Joyheim. Always said you needn't sacrifice style for function.
Is that the guy we met at the clothing shop?
No,
No.
That was
different guy.
Jeremy Thing.
Should I write that name down?
You can.
I really wish I understood what you were getting.
I'm not getting at anything. I'm simply doing a job. I am one half of a coin of transmission of information for those that know I exist. The others simply use Oben.
Oben?
Omen Bird's Information Network?
Omen.
Oben.
Errol just kind of looks at you.
This gives you the dirtiest look. Okay. Stuck. I got
Yeah, no, you can.
That's. Angus is just gonna sit there and look pensive.
Rada just looks at you and looks at the rest of you. I don't know how to explain it. Has old knowledge. Knowledge is needed if you are to get anywhere.
Do I see how frustrated he looks? All right, I drink some of the tea.
You hear Rada say, I don't understand. I mean, it's hats hold knowledge, and knowledge is needed if you are to go and get anywhere.
What did you do, Angus?
Household knowledge?
Of course. Well, they hold your head, and your head has knowledge, therefore they hold knowledge.
I like.
Welcome to the conversation.
Do I put a hat on and give me knowledge?
I mean, it depends on if the hat has knowledge, or if you have knowledge. Or maybe both are relative? I'm not sure. Try it.
I really like him.
I go put the hat on.
The big hat, you could walk into the hat.
I hold it.
No, the hat is the size of this wall.
Do I need a strength check?
You can't reach the sides of the hat. You need longer arms.
I'm gonna help.
I stick my head in the hat.
I'm
You
gonna.
stick your head in the hat, he disappears.
You have just listened to The Immaculate Chaos, released for free every Wednesday or live streamed bi-weekly on Saturdays, 1200 to 1700 U.S. Eastern. Be sure to join our Discord for the most up-to-date information and join the community. If you wish to support the podcast directly, or need to catch up to the live show, be sure to check out everything offered through Subscribestar and Podbean. If you like the background music, please be sure to check out the related artists. Peter Rowe is the mastermind behind most of the music in The Immaculate Chaos. Till we once again meet in creation. Thanks for listening, Anathema.